Hey, happy Easter, everybody. I know these things are like really horrible for you, but I actually kind of like them. I probably shouldn't, but I really do. What's up, everybody? D-Man back. Welcome to a brand new video, and today we're going to be doing another Godzilla King of the Monsters news and updates. Chapter time's in the description below. Skip to whichever story you want. There's a lot of news, so we're just going to try and blast through it all as quick as possible. Starting out with an art piece that comes to us from a bunch of owls in a trench coat. What an amazing Twitter name. It is his Godzilla King of the Monsters wallpaper. I quite like it. Very stylistic, but I really like the Ghidorah in this piece, and Godzilla's pretty cool as well. And then you have all your human characters, of course. But I think Ghidorah steals the show in this picture, as I'm sure he'll do in the movie as well. Chris Willett revealed his Godzilla King of the Monsters art submission. I think this was for the Talent House competition. Really cool. I like the integration of the human characters here. I think he did a fantastic job with Emma and Madison Russell. They look amazing. And you've got Godzilla up front, pretty cool eye scar, Rodan, Ghidorah, and Mothra. Larry hit us with an amazing Godzilla King of the Monsters artwork. This is incredible. This is a poster right here. Oh, here's his name, Larry Quach. That's how you say it, I hope. So you got Godzilla fighting King Ghidorah. That's already awesome. He did an amazing job with it. I like the blue in Godzilla's dorsal fins, and I think Ghidorah just looks really cool here. And I also like the way he's kind of bent over, like with his foot on Godzilla's leg. That's really awesome. But then you've got Rodan fighting Mothra in the background, and the lightning striking everywhere, and they're in DC. This is incredible. I hope something like this happens in the movie, where we get to see this big four-way battle going on all at once. I don't think it will, but it'd be really cool. It was cool back when we saw it in '64, so it'd be cool to see something like that again now, although with more defined teams, with Godzilla and Mothra teaming up against Ghidorah and Rodan. So as if that one wasn't great enough, we also have the last one that comes to us from Pigeon OC on, I don't know, Twitter, Instagram, wherever else you can find Pigeon OC. I think DeviantArt is mainly where this person's based. But this is a Mothra versus Rodan art. If you remember, Pigeon OC did a whole bunch of really cool Mothra art back in the day. Continuing with that now, I like the fire on Rodan, the lightning striking all around him. Mothra's just beautiful though. This is, oh man, I really like it. She looks very aquatic with the blending of the colors and the blue in her wings. It's just so beautiful. I love this so much. Toho has a big expansion in the works. We don't know what this will entail, but we know that they have been planning on working with US studios for quite a while. There was apparently a $14 million investment into Hollywood-based studios. So it seems like Toho's trying to go a little international here, and we have heard about this, like I said, for a while. This is nothing new. It's just that now we're finding out about the $14 million investment. Got a lot of people really excited for the possibility of joint Toho and Warner Brothers Legendary Productions to where they could be co-producing Godzilla movies together. That way, Toho can have their cake and eat it too. The Monsterverse will continue, and they'll be able to slap their name on it and make more money off of it. This is really good news for Godzilla fans, assuming that they apply it to the Monsterverse. It doesn't mean they will. This could just mean that they're moving into American studios, but ultimately, I think this is good news for Godzilla fans, period, because if Toho's getting into the international market, there's probably going to be some international companies, as we've already seen with America, who want to take up the Godzilla mantle. So Toho will now have more incentive to continue the Godzilla franchise moving on from the Monsterverse. Even if the Monsterverse doesn't continue, they'll have more incentive to continue with it because they'll be able to work side by side with American studios who want to continue the Godzilla franchise. And of course American studios want to, because it's gonna make money. There's new Godzilla Monogram characters. I don't have much to say about them. They're pretty minimalistic. I'm not sure what they're made out of. Probably rubber. You got Godzilla, Ghidorah, Rodan, Mothra, Mothra larva, Egg. What is that? Barnes? I don't know why he gets his own. Maybe that's just random soldier. Another Rodan, another Ghidorah. You got a red Godzilla and a blue Godzilla. There you go. I'm not going to say anything else about them because I don't want to. I don't have their names written down, but the Japanese voice actors who will be playing Madison Russell, Emma Russell, and Mark Russell have all been cast for Godzilla King of the Monsters Japanese dub. It's kind of funny that we now have the role reversal of what we normally have, where traditionally in Godzilla movies you have the Japanese characters do their thing, or cast do their thing, and then Americans come in, or Japanese Americans come in and dub it over later. But this time we're just having Japanese people dubbing the American stuff, so it's a little bit backwards from usual. I guess this means that Godzilla King of the Monsters will be released in Japanese theaters, which means it'll probably make a little more money than if it was just subtitled, so that's a good thing. Pretty interesting to note that their scripts still read Fathom. I don't know why. Godzilla King of the Monsters box office tracking climbs all the way up to $54 million. It climbed $4 million. Not a huge increase from what we've previously heard, but it's still alright. That's not not a bad prediction. I still think it'll hit that 65-ish million mark. I think that's where the movie's going to open. I could be low, but I'm going to put it there to be safe. Godzilla King of the Monsters will release on May 31st in India. So there you go. If you live in India, you'll get the movie the same time as the Americans. All good to go. Hopefully, the international box office, along with the American box office, is just huge for the movie. There seems to be a lot of support for the movie over in Asia. That's always a good thing. Hopefully China goes out to see this movie like they did for Kong Skull Island, although it's a little bit more Japanese oriented than Kong Skull Island was, and a little less China oriented, and you never know how that's going to play over with Chinese audiences, but there is still Chinese characters in the movie. So hopefully what we're looking at here is everyone is going to be happy. Everyone's going to go see the movie. The movie will have a huge international box office, and then we'll get more of them. Everyone's all hyped up about Godzilla King of the Monsters, as am I, but there is one thing that I'm hyped for more than everything else, and that is the soundtrack. And we have a little bit more news on the soundtrack coming to us directly from McCreary. He did a podcast, the Score Podcast, in which he talked about Godzilla King of the Monsters very briefly, at least from what I understand. It's a really cool discussion he has, so I'll break down what he talks about here. He says when using the Ifukube music in this movie, he wanted to use the full themes, the full character themes, not just Easter eggs, not just teases in the soundtrack, but actually use the scores and actually have them be full character themes in the movies, because he thinks it'd just be a little bit too much of a tease to do it any other way. And I fully agree with that. I definitely don't think we should just have one Godzilla cue like we did in Ready Player One. If we're gonna have Godzilla's music, they should use it. And I'm glad to hear that he agrees with that. It seems like he just respects the hell out of Ifukube's work with the Godzilla franchise. He views it as some of the most iconic music in film history and credits it as the longest running movie theme in film history, which is really cool to think about. I never actually thought about it like that. When thinking about the groundbreaking things that the Godzilla franchise has done, I've always thought about the way it's treated certain types of characters, how progressive it was in terms of its ideas. I've thought about the cinematic universe aspect of it, but I never actually thought about the fact that, yeah, Godzilla's theme is probably the longest running character theme in movie history. It is definitely the one that has stuck around the longest and is most used most frequently. That's really interesting to think about. I never thought about that. Overall, McCreary wants his entire soundtrack to reflect the work of Ifukube, not just the parts when they're using Ifukube's music, and it seems like him and Michael Dougherty really agree on how to handle the soundtrack. That's awesome. I cannot wait. I'm so excited to hear it. Godzilla's music is just so influential in my life, and so I'm really excited to hear more of it. We have a little Mothra roar teaser. It was not anything huge, but there is still a little bit to talk about. First of all, yes, the Mothra's roar. It's the Toho roar, and I love it. It's just the Toho roar. They hardly changed it. It's not the whale noises we heard in the trailers. It's just Mothra's roar. Supposedly, it's played through the Orca. That's not confirmed. I think some of the media releases of this, maybe like the Instagram release of this, had the Orca name attached to it, but it wasn't on the Twitter version that I downloaded, so I don't know if that's 100% true. There is a little snippet at the end here that is new footage that I haven't seen. Maybe some of you guys have. I don't know if it's been in any of the TV spots or not, and I don't want to know because I avoid the TV spots, but there was a little snippet of Mothra confronting Rodan in the sky. Pretty cool the way they're both able to fly at each other and then change directions and back off from one another so quickly. Just shows that they're masters in the sky. The defensive claws on Mothra look like they're going to do some real damage here, and I'm very excited to see the fight between Mothra and Rodan. We've never seen it before, at least not that I can think of, and I think there's a great opportunity to have a really cool aerial battle, so I cannot wait to see what they do with it. There is a new Godzilla King of the Monsters HD image. It is of Dr. Serizawa and Dr. Graham. There's not too much to talk about. They're in their underwater monarch facility. Now we know, at least at the time the movie was being filmed, that this facility was called Fathom. You got Dr. Graham doing her iconic Godzilla 2014 hands cupped together over her mouth thing. I don't know why she always does that pose, but I always find it funny whenever she does. Then you've got Serizawa. Just look at that guy. He's such a sleek dresser. I love the way they dress Serizawa in this movie. That is such a nice suit. I wish I had that. I had something very similar to that I wore to prom, and it was because of Serizawa that I wore it, because I was like, yeah, that looks really good. I just wish I had like the full gray like he has. Mine is a little bit darker. There's another HD image that we have. We have seen this image before. We saw it in the Tokyo Comic-Con trailer teaser that they played back in, what month was that? Like December, around then? We saw it then. We also saw another version of it, a cropped version of it on a social media ad, but here we go. We have the full HD scan. Not sure where this comes from. Probably a TV spot. Again, I don't watch the TV spot, so I don't know. But it is the female female Muto's head being studied in an underground Monarch facility. You can see an Osprey helicopter being lowered into it, and it almost looks like a full-blown city here. It almost looks like Monarch has this full underground city. They are really going for it in this movie. Michael Dougherty has talked about how Monarch has upped their game, and this image alone shows how much more advanced Monarch is in King of the Monsters than they were in Godzilla 2014. In Godzilla 2014, they built a net. They built a little electric net to try and keep the Muto locked up. In this movie, they have a full-blown underground city studying the Muto head. Really cool. I say it's the female Mutos because the males was, crushed into a building and then the building landed on him. I say it's the females because she was decapitated. So this is probably the female Muto's head being studied, freshly recovered from the San Francisco Bay. There is a potential new Godzilla King of the Monsters banner. I can't tell if this is fan-made or not. There's a lot of debate about it in the Godzilla community. It is a picture of Godzilla versus Ghidorah, the two of them standing off against each other. If it is real, it kind of looks fan-made. I'm gonna be honest. If it's fan-made, they did a great job because it's a very good fan-made poster. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just Godzilla himself and Ghidorah look a little weird and a little bit too animated here for me to feel that this is official, but I don't know. It could be official and I could just be an idiot. I don't know. Either way, you got Osprey helicopters, normal helicopters, the Argo jet, Godzilla, all blue. Awesome picture of Godzilla. I really like the image of Godzilla. And then Ghidorah looking really cool. That's probably our best look at Ghidorah's official design because he's not being coated in anything. He's not being covered in darkness. We can just see the design and it's awesome. So there you go. You got Godzilla and Ghidorah standing off against each other. Although, like I said, I don't know if this is fan made or not. Even if it is, it's okay because we have an official Godzilla King of the Monsters new poster that came out that will make up for it. People absolutely love this poster, myself included. This is my favorite Godzilla King of the Monsters poster we have seen so far. You've got Godzilla firing his atomic breath up into the sky just like he does in trailer 1. One of the most iconic shots of the movie so far that we've seen. Probably will wind up being one of the most iconic shots in the movie, period. Everything looks great about it. I love the way the atomic breath pierces through the clouds. I like how it's kind of got the mushroom cloud shape to it. You can see the base of the cloud in the water, and then it goes up Godzilla's body into the normal clouds. All the helicopters flying around, the boats add a lot of atmosphere, and I think they did a great job with this poster. Legendary Pictures changed their banner on Twitter to reflect this poster, and so that's also really cool. Just shows that they're going full force with this Godzilla thing. We have a textless version of the Godzilla King of the Monsters poster. Again, it's the same image, except that this one, just doesn't have text. There's a Russian banner for Godzilla King of the Monsters. It's the same image from the poster, just changed for the banner. There is an American banner of the poster, and then there is a textless version of that banner. Yeah, keeping up with it all. There's actually quite a bit of variations of this banner, but I'm not going to run through them all because it would take too much time to point out the subtle differences, such as like, well, this one has different text and it's in slightly different positions. Godzilla has a new trailer inbound today. It is inbound for Game of Thrones, so if you watch Game of Thrones, you're in for a treat because you're going to get some Godzilla content. It was initially said to be a 2-minute 16-second trailer, and I do believe that a 2-minute 16-second trailer will follow up the Game of Thrones footage and release online. That being said, it has been confirmed that the Godzilla footage that will play during Game of Thrones will be the 5-minute clip that played for IMAX screenings in general. So if you went and saw the Shazam IMAX, the Curse of La Llorona, I think that's the other one that it's playing in front of, Hellboy it's playing in front of, a whole bunch of IMAX movies, potentially Infinity War, you're going to wind up seeing this footage. I hope they don't play it in front of my Infinity War theater because I'm really trying to avoid this footage. If they're going to release it in Game of Thrones, that means that it will be officially out there for people to snag screenshots of, for people to do whatever they want with. The one thing you're not going to be able to do is send it to me, and if you do, you'll get blocked. Don't send me any pictures, don't tag me in any pictures. I don't want anything to do with this 5-minute footage. Just keep it away from me. Thank you very much. I will be strictly enforcing the block policy on this one, so you better listen to what I'm saying right now. As for the 2-minute 16-second trailer that releases online following the Game of Thrones footage, I would assume it is going to be the 2-minute 16-second montage that plays after the Godzilla fighting Ghidorah in the Arctic clip. That's what the clip is from what I understand. I assume that the little montage of footage that plays after that Ghidorah reveal plays out is what they're going to release online, and that will be up in the air on if I'm going to watch it. I'll let other people watch it and then tell me if I should watch it, knowing my spoiler policy. That's people like Godzilla 154 who really understands my spoiler policy. Other people like that, Kaiju News Outlet seems to get it. Other people like that, if they go, no, D-Man, you're fine, maybe I'll watch it. If they tell me don't watch it, then I'm not going to watch it. So it will be all up in the air until tonight. Don't expect me to react to it tonight or even tomorrow or even ever, because I'm probably not going to. If I do wind up watching it, I will react to it, but I just don't expect to watch it. And I know it really tanks ad rev. I could be making so much money right now if I covered the TV spots like a lot of money if I covered the TV spots. And I gave that up because I really want to experience the movie as the movie. So I've given up money, and I'm not getting paid nearly as well as I could be because I want to experience this movie. So it's not like I'm getting anything out of not watching these trailers. I'm actually losing something from not watching these trailers. Anyways, there was an HBO teaser that they did to tease the new footage coming tonight, and I did watch that because it was perfect. It was exactly what I want in a TV spot that's coming out this late in the game. A reused of the beautiful TV spot. It's just re-edited. It's the exact same thing with ever so slightly shorter footage, which is actually good. It shows even less than the beautiful TV spot did, although it features a new introduction that I really liked, and that was the only new bit. It was a new introduction with Charles Dance's character, Charles Dance playing Jonah Allen in the movie, at least from what we understand. He says that human nature is getting worse. He advocates for the Titans taking the world back. There's a new image of Ghidorah frozen in ice, and they're kind of messing with the ice while he's in there. There's a new shot of Jonah Allen talking to Emma Russell, and then there's a new shot of Jonah Allen standing in a burning Monarch facility, which I would assume is Mothra's facility coming at the start of the film. I would assume that based off what we heard from the set visit information. And that does it. That is all that we learned that was new from the Godzilla King of the Monsters HBO teaser, and that's how I'd like it to be. If that's how the actual trailer that comes out tonight winds up being, is just like, or the one that's released online anyways, is 2 minutes 15 seconds or 16 seconds of re-edited footage with like ever so slight new footage in there that's not spoiler heavy new footage, yeah, I'll watch it. If it's something crazy like, oh, here's how Godzilla defeats Ghidorah or something else like that in the trailer, you can bet that I'm not going to be watching it. All right, I've got the HBO ad link down below. I've also got the social media version of that ad link down below, so you can go check it out if you want. Thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed. I'll see you guys next time. D-Man, out.